Continuing on the Domino's post-game report, Adam Cavalier alongside Carson-Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Chuck, a gutting defeat. From the point of the neutral observer, great game, but a game that you hate to see your team come out on the losing side of. How do you sum this one up?
I'm gonna say the obvious. Credit Lincoln Memorial. I thought we threw some pretty aggressive punches their way, but there was just a stretch there, basically a media, a 4-minute segment where they melted. I don't even know what we had, a 9-point lead,
7-point lead,
7-point lead, and they jumped up there and made some really difficult shots to bring that to basically come back and make it all even. And we fired back as well, but when they made that run, then they went ahead and extended that by getting stops and then capitalizing. And again, credit to them, man. They're a very good team. There's a reason why they're the number 1 seed in this tournament. There's a reason why they were champions of this conference in the regular season. We played 3 times. We split regular season. I was confident we could come in here and perform well enough to give ourselves a legitimate chance to win, and I thought we did that. But we just came up short, and you've got to give credit where credit's due. They had a couple players, Ennis and Garcia, that really stepped up and made tough baskets late, and they were able to clinch the win.
There's a lot of tough shot making in this one.
Yes.
Felt like nothing was easy for either team. Break down your squad's defensive performance. I think if you were to hold your typical LMU team to 70, you'd be pretty happy. Just didn't have the offensive firepower to counteract it.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. I mean, they're an elite defensive team. They're number 1 team in our league defensively. They've historically been an elite defensive team, and they made it tough. Having said that, I still felt like we got some opportunities today that we came up short on. But in a game like this, you really can't have dry spells. You know, you just can't, because the other team is going to you're going to assume that they're not going to have dry spells. And so, from that standpoint, that was frustrating for our guys, and you know, there's a lot of emotion in that locker room right now. But our guys have nothing they should be ashamed of today. They should be very proud of this season, and there's just a lot of pain and hurt right now.
On one hand, you want to celebrate the good. Best offensive season in Carson-Newman basketball history from a point per game. Average, you hit more threes than any other team in Carson-Newman men's basketball history. And yet, with the way the region is this year, this is likely the end of the road for, in your case as head coach here, the team with the most wins in a regular season. Break down the good with the obvious emotions of this is probably the end of the road.
You know, I mean, it is the end of the road. We understood that with the way the region ranking, the way it was coming out, it was pretty clear that, you know, we had to win this thing. But that is what it is. We choose to celebrate the successes, and there were plenty of them, both as a team collectively and then on an individual basis. There's a lot of good things that happened, but you know, right now it's more about trying to console these guys and lift their spirits and sort of reflect, do the reflecting later and try to remind them of the good. But yeah, I'm very proud of this team, man. As I just told them, I was like, you know, we sort of redefined our identity, and I'm very pleased with how that turned out this year, and I think we will only build on that and give ourselves a chance to be better going into the next season.
I suppose the good is that you return every starter from this year, but you hate to see guys like Jarius Satterfield, Caleb Bridgewater, Ben Beaker, guys that have been around the program, especially in Bridges' case, for forever and a day, exit. What has that crew meant to you as they conclude their collegiate basketball careers?
Well, of course, Bridges and Jarius have been here the longest, 6 and 5 years, respectively, and then Ben's been here a couple years. but all have done a lot in the name of our program, and they've Bridge and Jarius have won a championship in this conference. They have had a chance to then defend and compete for another championship in this conference. Those guys have been a part of 3 semifinal runs in this conference tournament. Those guys, they've had all kinds of roles. Jarius and Bridge have both been starters here. They've been backup guys here. But the thing, through all that, they've always maintained a level head and a great attitude about no matter what the role was, they've always looked for ways to add value. And it's that kind of character and that kind of persona that will allow them to be elite in whatever else they pursue beyond their Carson-Newman experience. I look forward to watching that. But I'm confident, based on who they are as people and how they function and carry themselves, that they are going to be successful. Ben came to us late, and for Ben, I think this has been more a redemption type story where he had a good experience, really a minimal play time, but a good experience at Furman academically and being a part of something. But then he came here and sort of was able to fall back in love with the game and add great value to our team. I mean, he's leaving here with a post-grad degree, but he's able to go out on sort of his own terms from a basketball standpoint, and he wasn't really able to do that at Furman. He was a member of that team, but the opportunities to get the kind of minutes that he was able to get here just weren't there for him, and I'm so happy for him because he's given us great minutes, and we are not where we are without him, and we're not where we are without any of the 3 of those guys. They've all done great things for our team. We're very, very thankful.
I'm going to take off the headset real quick, metaphorically, and put on my associate AD hat instead of the voice hat that I so often wear when you and I are on camera. But very appreciative of you and this team for the way that they've represented Carson-Newman over the last 4 months and really years. So, Chuck, I hate that this is over, but it has been a joy. It's been a privilege.
Okay, that means a lot to me. That wasn't planned. I didn't have to try to trick you into that. That wasn't planned, and that means a lot coming from you. You know the respect and love I have for you as a peer, and you're closer to our program than anybody other than those on the inside of our program. You're closer, and what your perspective means a lot. You've seen a lot, and like you, I am proud. We had a lot of fans here tonight. We had administrators here tonight, and I think they see the quality of person that we have in this program. I think they see clearly how we carry ourselves, how we function. We're very competitive. Do we get everything right? No, we don't. Do we come up short? Yes, we do. But we're gonna go to work every day and do the very best we can, and do it in a way that is of respect and honor. So for you to shed light on that, I appreciate it. But as you said, it's about the players, and I'm thankful for the way they do it as well.
Chuck, pleasure as always. We'll talk to you next year.
Great. Thanks, Cap.
It's Carson-Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. We'll wrap things